We are going to start the intercostal nerves. So intercostal nerves are mainly formed from the anterior primary rami. So actually what is this anterior primary rami? Let us discuss by means of this diagram. So you can see this is the spinal cord, right? This is the anterior and this is the posterior end of the spinal cord. So mainly from the anterior end of the spinal cord you can see mainly a trunk is coming, which is divided in turn into the medial branch, and it is further divided into the anterior branch, anterior primary rami. So you can see this is a dorsal ramus and this is a ventral or anterior ramus. So this ventral or anterior ramus is the one which is giving our intercostal nerves, especially from T1 to T11 nerves. So you can see here the thoracic nerves T1 to T11, which are also called as spinal nerves, which are mainly originating from the anterior primary rami of T1 to T11. So why we are saying only T1 to T11? Because T12 is a subcostal nerve. T12 is called as subcostal nerve. Even it is coming from the anterior primary rami, but it is called as subcostal nerve. We have given some special importance to T12. So this mainly this T12 subcostal nerve supply the abdominal wall and also the skin of buttock in the back side. So in the front side, in the anterior side, it supplies the abdominal wall. In the posterior side, it supplies the skin of the buttock. So this is about T12. Next we'll see. So now we'll discuss from T1 to T11. We said all the spinal nerves. So what are the names, what they are supplying, everything we'll discuss now. So mainly T1 and T2 supply the upper limb and also intercostal nerves. Of course, they are the intercostal nerves. Of course, they'll have supply the intercostal muscles, like in the intercostal space. What are the muscles are there? Of course, and also especially they supply the upper limb in the case of T1 and T2, because T1 and T2 or the spinal nerves are like nearer to the upper limb muscles also. Next, coming to T7 and T11. T7 to T11. All these are supplying the abdominal wall. So these are especially called as thoraco-abdominal nerves, because mainly supplying the abdominal wall. Of course, also supply some of the intercostal space muscles also. So this is T7 to T11. Next, coming to T3 to T6. So 3 to 6, that is T3 to T6, mainly supply only thoracic wall. So they are especially for our thoracic wall, they are called as typical intercostal nerves. They typically supplying only the intercostal space intercostal muscles. So this is called as typical intercostal nerves, that is T3 to T6. So our main target is on T3 to T6 because they are supplying only our intercostal muscles. So intercostal nerve mainly run in the costal groove and end near sternum. So for this we need to see a diagram and we'll get a clear idea. So here you can see in this diagram. So actually you can see this is a sternum on the anterior side and you have the vertebral column on the posterior side. So what they are saying is the intercostal nerve mainly run in the costal groove. So it originates from here. So you can say this is the intercostal nerve which is originating on the back of the vertebral body, right? So it runs forward and especially it moves in the intercostal groove. So this is an intercostal groove. Inside the intercostal groove they travel and they come and end near the sternum. So you can see they are ending anterior to the sternum. So this is our intercostal nerve. And this intercostal nerve passes below same number of rib and enter the costal groove. And one more thing here you need to note that it for example if in the T1 the intercostal nerve also will be T1 only, means on the same rib number only it will cross, means it will pass by means of costal groove. And next they lie below the posterior intercostal vessels. This is important. Why? Because the vein arrangement, right? It is the vein first, artery first, and next the nerve. So we are talking about now nerve, means it lie posterior to them, right? So that is what they are saying, that the intercostal nerve lie below or posterior intercostal vessels, that is intercostal artery and vein. So next you have the nerve which lie between the pleura with endothoracic fascia. So actually this is a starting point, right? So here of course you can imagine this is you have a lung and also you have its pleura, endothoracic fascia is somewhat the fat which is present. So all this is in contact with this starting point of the intercostal nerve, right? So next, and also it will be in contact with internal intercostal membrane, because on the back side we have intercostal membrane, already we discussed here. So you can see here back side you have the internal intercostal membrane. So that same internal intercostal membrane is also in contact with this nerve at the beginning, and later in the greater part the nerve lie between the intercostalis intimi and also internal intercostal muscle. So actually in the beginning it is in contact with pleura, lung and also with the endothoracic fascia, right? But later, and also of course internal intercostal muscle membrane, but later it is in contact with mainly, you can see here, the muscle which is a internal intercostal intimi and also internal intercostal muscle. So in between these two muscle, it is in major, means in major of its traveling, it is between these two muscles. And later, near the sternum, the nerve crosses in front of internal thoracic vessels and sternocostalis muscle. So here you have the internal intercostal muscles and also sternocostalis. You can see this is a sternocostalis muscle. So in front of them it will pass and then pierces the internal intercostal muscle. So you can see this is internal intercostal muscle, this brown one. So it is piercing the internal intercostal muscle and it is coming in front of the sternum, that is anterior to the sternum. And now external intercostal membrane, yeah, it is coming now nearer to the external intercostal membrane and pectoralis, yeah. So this nerve not only pierces the internal intercostal muscle but also pierces the external intercostal membrane and also pectoralis major muscle to terminate as anterior cutaneous nerve of thorax. So you can see this is the anterior cutaneous branch of the thorax. So it mainly supplies the anterior part of the skin which is present here over here. So now we'll see its branches. Mainly it is having the muscular branch. So you can see it is having a muscular branch which supply the transverse thoracis and also serratus posterior superior. So here you can see this one, muscular branch mainly supply the transverse thoracis and also serratus posterior superiors, and collateral branch arise near the angle of rib. So you can see this is actually a collateral branch arises at the angle. For example, this is the angle, so from here the collateral branches also start forming. So the collateral branches are formed at the angle of the rib and run lower part of space in same neurovascular plane. They also run along to the corresponding numerical rib, and they supply the parietal pleura and parietal peritoneum in case of lower nerves or periosteum of rib. So you can see from here it will come and they will supply this all parietal pleura and all those structures. So here you can see this is innermost intercostalis intimi and this is a internal intercostal membrane. This is the external intercostal. So that's what we have discussed before, and this is the internal intercostal and this is the internal thoracic vessels. So next we also have a cutaneous branch. So you can see this is the anterior cutaneous branch, right? So this cutaneous branch is for having a lateral cutaneous branch. So this is a lateral cutaneous branch which is mainly at the angle. Its branch is near the angle and it pierces the intercostal muscle along the mid axillary line and divided into anterior and posterior branches. So actually you can see here this is the posterior branch and this is the anterior branch of the lateral cutaneous branch. So actually at the rib only this nerve will now divide into the posterior division and anterior division. So actually this division is taking place at the angle of the rib. Later this posterior and anterior division are going to the mid axillary line, means you can say at the axillary region. At the axillary region they are dividing and they are supplying that part of the axillary part of the skin which is lateral to the thoracic cage. So next you have the communicating branch. Communicating branch is each nerve is connected to thoracic sympathetic ganglion by distally placed white and proximally placed gray ramus communicants. So now this nerves are also going to connect to the distally placed white and proximally placed gray ramus communicants of the thoracic sympathetic ganglion. And next you have lateral cutaneous branch. So here you can see this is the lateral cutaneous branch of second intercostal nerve. This is also called as intercostal branch brachial nerve, which supply the skin of floor of axilla and also to the upper part of the medial side of the arm, which we already discussed. So this is all about the intercostal nerves. The main thing which you need to say is it is coming from back of the body of the vertebra and it comes first in contact with the pleura, thoracic fat, all those layers along, and later it comes in between the internal intercostal intima and also our internal costal muscle membrane, and later it travels here, and at the angle it is getting divided into lateral cutaneous branch, and this lateral cutaneous branch is in turn divided into posterior division, anterior division, and this posterior and anterior division is mainly going to supply the axillary part of the skin, and later this comes in front, and it is in front of the vascular structures and also sternocostalis, and it pierces the internal intercostal muscle and also the pectoralis major and some other different, and also external intercostal membrane, and later this comes here and forms a anterior cutaneous branch, and this anterior cutaneous branch is, again you can say, it's in communication with the anterior division of lateral cutaneous branch. So this anterior cutaneous branch mainly supply the anterior part of the skin. So this is again a quick revision of our intercostal nerves which we learned. Next we will talk about the intercostal arteries in our next video.